Who's Christ coming back to save? Who's us? Who went into slavery on ships? Us. What does God call us? Make, oh no, we're harmless. Not all of us did that to you. What I'm showing you, my brother, God doesn't make mistakes. He literally said, your enemies, that race who did this to you, they're your enemies. But know that we're the Israelites. We lost our heritage. We're still celebrating Christmas. We're still celebrating Thanksgiving. All these false pagan days, they took everything from you, my brother. And for you to sit up here and say, oh, they're not all bad, my brother, who's standing up for their black man?
unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord.
32. What, 32? 32.
Verse 32, it shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even.
At when?
At even. From even to even.
That's how God measures his days, from even unto even, right? So if the sun goes down in the west, right, and you don't see no more blue, that's when the evening starts. That means what? The next day has began, right? So what? If the sun goes down on Friday, what does that begin? Saturday. And what is Saturday? God's what? Today, right now, is God's holy Sabbath day. Nehemiah 10:31. So now, you're saying you're learning God's laws in your church. I'm glad you don't work on Saturday. You work on Saturdays, my brother? Okay. Is it do you have like an emergency-based job, or is it like?
Some people call out.
We'll get to that. But the main thing is, my brother, for you, before you leave, you gotta hear this one law. This is the fourth commandment. God's Sabbath day. I'm showing you how to keep it holy. Right. You don't work on this day. Read.
Nehemiah chapter 10 verse 31. And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day.
Which day?
On the Sabbath day.
God is saying if there's stores open, people are selling things, doing things on the Sabbath day. Read.
On the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them.
When?
On the Sabbath.
So from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, are we supposed to be buying and selling if we believe in God?
Bring it out.
Huh? No, right? Did you catch it, or am I making this up? God says if the people are selling things on the Sabbath day, we will not buy it of them on the Sabbath day.
Bring it out.
Y'all believe in this Bible, right? Y'all want to get to heaven? Now we have to actually change. That's that change you said you go to church for. You have to learn what you got to do. You can't just, I want change and continue on walking in life. No, brother. God's saying every Saturday, from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, there's no working, no buying or selling. Exodus 34:2. You shouldn't be working. You shouldn't be buying or selling or conducting business today. I hope you're not getting ready to go buy some food. God said you had 6 other days to do that. Hopefully you got stuff in the fridge you can put together. Don't cook it. Don't put it in the microwave. Right? God's saying you should not buy or sell if you love him. Come on.
Exodus chapter 35 verse 3. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day.
No cooking. Don't go home and warm nothing up. Don't cook nothing on the stove. Today is God's holy day. You must separate it from the rest of the days of the week. This is not no average. This is not just Saturday night. It's time to party. No. This is God said, my people, the blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, this is your day to worship me. I command you, if you love me, you must worship me. This is not no optional thing. Y'all gotta understand. Numbers 15 verse 36. Y'all think this God's playing about this? Did you know back before Christ came? Because Christ brought grace, meaning what? Time to get yourself together, because y'all might not have known y'all weren't supposed to be buying and selling today. You shouldn't be working on this day, and you shouldn't be cooking on this day. That you should come together with believers to worship him. You might not have known that. But when it was law for us to actually follow this thing to the T under the law of Moses, this was an example of what's going on with us. Come on.
Numbers chapter 15, verse 32. And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day.
So gathering sticks, a form of work, right? He's trying to what? Trying to go out there and do some work. Go to his occupation, right? This is the Sabbath day, right? All right, this is before Christ. He said a man was out here trying to do his work on the Sabbath day. Read on.
And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation.
Jump down, two verses.
Verse 35. And the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall surely be put to death.
What was the punishment for breaking God's Sabbath day? Death. So you got to put that in the back of your mind. Christ did not just come and do away with the Sabbath. He said, I need you to get it right. I need you to learn your mistake and change. So if you continue to go buy, sell, cook, do what you want to do as you please on the Sabbath day, guess what's waiting for you when Christ returns? You said what? Death.
That's right.
And it's not just a death of this flesh. No. There's a second death that you need to learn about, where it's everlasting, like you said, hellfire and burning. You understand what I'm saying? Go back to verse 38. So that's the Sabbath day. You haven't been taught. They haven't taught you how to properly worship God in your churches. That's what I was trying to show you, my brother. The main thing is you're an Israelite. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Americans, we're not. We are God's chosen people. We are Israelites. Jesus Christ, he is a black man according to the Bible, and he's only coming back to. Who is Christ coming back to save? Huh? You said the bride? Okay, yes. But who is the bride? You say who? Who'd you say? You say blacks? You said a color. Nah, we talking about a people. Who is Christ coming back to save? All people?
Bring it out.
You say all people who keep his law?
I appreciate that song, but I have to go. So
Who's Christ coming back to save? Who's us? Who are the children of Israel? That's a good answer. That is the answer right there. But who are the children of Israel? Where do you see yourself on this side, my brother? That's what I'm trying to show you. You got to go, but you understand about the Sabbath day, right? All right, you good? Who are the children of Israel before you leave? You got to understand that. You believe in this Bible? Huh? In a way. What does that mean, my brother? Help me out. Hey, where's that at? Where's that part at? Because I want to read that part too. Describe it. What part about the Bible that doesn't, like, you don't really believe it, or you don't like, hey, I don't really rock with that? What you thinking? You don't think it makes sense? Is it a contradiction, or is it just your feeling? Like, I'm trying to see where you are. When it comes to this Bible, what has you drop off from believing it 100%? Help me out. Say it again. You said that was used to ridicule what?
Yeah, that's been used to ridicule. Like back in the time of slavery, when someone definitely used that book.
Oh, you're talking about the white man using it against us. Right, they did. But did they do it? Were they actually reading the Bible how it was supposed to be read? Matthew 24 and verse. Let me show you about them. Right, because Christ let us know there's gonna come a time where a certain man, him and his people, were to come and deceive you. Right? Let me show you something. Read that.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 4. And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
Christ is letting you know there's going to come a deceiver. What's a deceiver? The devil. There's going to be a people who represents the devil, right? They're going to come to deceive you. Read on.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ.
That is right there, let you know that's the Christian religion. Because everywhere you go, in the hoods, everywhere, what do you see on the corners? Christian churches. People professing to be God or godly. They all have this Bible in their churches, but what? They all teaching the same lies. Right. They're not teaching the truth about this Bible. Christ is letting you know in the last days, there's going to be people who will come who are going to lie about the Bible. Read on.
And shall deceive many.
And that's what they're going to do. Deceive many to do what? So you could turn away from this Bible. So you could be like, I have bad vibes with that Bible, because what? The people who taught our people that in slavery, they lied to us about it. And yes, they did. They try to twist and construe the Bible, but what did God do in these last days? He brought back his prophets. His prophets come to the streets to what? Give you the sense. What I'm here to show you, this is not a white man's book. A white man has nothing to do with the creation of this book. His judgment is in the Bible. Him and his people, their judgment is in here. But what? This is a book written by the Israelites, for the Israelites, only to the Israelites. That's what this Bible is, my brother. It is your forefathers. Your forefathers, in the spirit of what? Christ wrote this book. It wasn't made up of man. Because what? There's prophecies in this Bible that are still coming to pass. That happened in the past, and they're still coming on right now. So what I'm showing you, my brother, first and foremost, for you to even understand this Bible, you got to get more context. Who are the Israelites? Because if this is a Bible for this people, who are those people? Are you a part of those people?
Yeah.
And I'm showing you, you are. How do I know? Deuteronomy 28. Look at these images right here, my brother. Right? We know this happened to us, like you brought up. When they came to us, they locked us up, put yokes of iron upon our necks, sold us on auction blocks, sold us all throughout the four corners of the world, right? This is our history back in the 1600s.
That's right.
This happened to us, right? We're children, descendants of the slave trade. The blacks and Hispanics are, if we go back far enough, we were here, right? Let me show you something. Deuteronomy 28:15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Does that sound like a religion to you? God saying, if you don't hearken unto me. Does that sound like a religion, or that's just commands? It's a direction, right? Like a father. You have children? Okay, for instance, so your parents, right? If they told you to do something, they're literally just telling you to do something. It's either you do it or you don't. You follow what I'm saying? This is God speaking to the 12 tribes of Israel in the Bible. He says, if you all don't listen to me, read on.
To observe to do all his commandments.
We had to do what?
All his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
If we did not do God's commandments, read.
That all these curses.
All of these what?
All these curses.
Does this look like a blessing or a cursing? This is a curse. Those who are descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, that is a curse.
That's right.
God says, for not keeping my commandments, all these what?
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
God says, my people will be cursed for not keeping God's commandments.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
Oh, my people, they will disobey me, right? I'm going to put them through these curses, but these curses will help you identify who they are. How do we know? Read this.
Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign.
What store is that right there? That red building. What store is that? How do you know? Huh? But what makes you know out of all those buildings right there, that's the target? How do you know? That's a what? Which is a sign.
What?
God's saying these curses will be upon the children of Israel for a what?
For a sign and for a wonder.
Have you ever wondered why is it so hard for the black and Hispanic in this world? Why are we leading in the prison system? Why are we leading in drug abuse? Why are we leading in diabetes, heart disease, all these things? Why are we going through this stuff? Why are we the most rebellious? Why they try to paint us as the most evil people on this planet? Why? God said that's a curse. Read, it should be a sign for a wonder.
And upon thy seed forever.
God says, now you know why you in the hoods. Now you know why you're getting gunned down by the police. Now you know why you're in the hospital. Now you know why you're in jail. Because these curses are supposed to be for a sign and a wonder.
Bring it out.
Damn, why are we going through this? I'm trying my best to make it here. But we still on the bottom of society. We're still working at entry level jobs. We're still on the bottom. Still living check to check. It's a curse. For what? Being disobedient to God's commandments.
That's right.
That's what he said to us thousands of years ago. All right, I'm gonna bring some curse on you, and you cannot get away from it. And this is how we know. Remember, this is written to the Israelites. This wasn't written to African Americans, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Haitians, Puerto Rican. It wasn't written to those. It was written to the 12 tribes: Judah, Benjamin, Ephraim, Levi. It was written to those, to us, right? Verse 68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
What? So he's saying something right here. He says, I'm going to bring you back into Egypt again. Meaning, we just listed a bunch of curses, right? I'm jumping through so you can just get a clear indication of who are the Israelites. God says, a people, if they don't keep my commandments, they'll be cursed. One of the curses is what? We're reading, these curses will be upon you forever. Meaning, That is, but that was the first curse, verse 16. It's every city you be cursed in. Every city you go, you be in a cursed estate. So that's how you know who lives in the hoods in every city. We call them blacks. God calls them Israelites, right? But I'll get into a main obvious one with these pictures, right? This right here is slave ships. Did the Chinese go into slavery on slave ships? No. Did the white man go into slavery on slave ships? East Indian, right? Only a certain nation of people was scattered all throughout the world on slave ships. This is written in the Bible.
That's
detailed. Read it.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Egypt means slavery. They just walked out of slavery in Egypt. He says, I'm gonna bring you back into slavery again.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Who went into slavery on ships?
Bring it out.
Yeah, who? They were,
Slave owners?
no. Who went into slavery on ships? Us. What does God call us? Exactly.
That's right.
That's what I wanted to show you. The curses are a sign and a wonder to show you who are God's people today. God said that Israelites will go into slavery on slave ships. Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Read on when we get off those ships.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Let's check out this picture. God gave us another indicator. He said, you will be sold. Are we being sold right here? He says, sold to your who?
To your enemies.
What has God called them? You believe that? You believe that? Those people, that race of people, are our natural born enemies.
Bring it out.
That sounds subjective because not everybody was a part of it.
What you mean?
The ones that came after them, they had nothing to do with that stuff.
Okay. So right now, the ones running the IBMs, the Chase, the JP Morgans, the people who run this world right now, right? Did they benefit from what their forefathers did hundreds of years ago?
I guess in a way.
You know what I'm saying? I understand there's poor whites. I understand this. But what I'm saying, they still benefited from what they did. You got what I want? Okay. But let me show you something real quick. God says, hold on, Job 9:24. Let me show you something about that. Because God is letting you know something, right? He's saying your enemies will take you from your homes and scatter you all throughout the world. They will kill you mercilessly. Doesn't matter if you're old and young. They will take your identity. They will make sure everywhere they'll go, you're on the bottom of society. They will make sure they set up laws against you to try to kill you. But what did they do a good job of? Coming out as a lamb. Making, oh, no, we're harmless. Not all of us did that to you. What I'm showing you, my brother, God doesn't make mistakes. He literally said, your enemies, that race who did this to you, they're your enemies.
That's right.
Those people. Let me show you about it. Job 9:24.
Job chapter 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Who is ruling the earth right now? I mean, is it evident? Who has a military base in every country? Who's ruling the world, right? God calls them Esau in the Bible. The white man is Esau. He is Edom. You heard of the story of Jacob and Esau? Jacob and Esau. They are descendants from Esau. They are Jacob's natural born enemies. We are Jacob. Jacob changed his name to Israel. They are Esau. They're meant to be the last ruling kingdom before Jacob, who was holding his heel, before we come and rule. So guys, let you know, your enemies are going to keep you on the bottom as long as they can, because as soon as we wake up and understand, oh, you're Esau. I'm not saying to do no damage to them. I'm not saying to go out and harm anybody. I'm saying to recognize what's real. What's real is what? Ezekiel 36 or 35 about a perpetual. Because this is how this guy wrote down how they feel it deep down, how they feel about us. You may not see it. You might not have felt it firsthand, but you're feeling it passively. You're still in the hoods. Your great-great-great-great-grandfathers and foremothers, they felt it directly. But now in 2023, because we can walk around and go to work, we may not feel like, oh, we're not in slavery. No, my brother, we still haven't went back to our homeland. We still don't even know that we're the Israelites. We lost our heritage. We still celebrating Christmas. We're still celebrating Thanksgiving. All these false pagan days, they took everything from you, my brother. And for you to sit up here and say, oh, they're not all bad, my brother, who's standing up for their black man?
Bring it out.
Nobody. They're cool as long as you don't say you're a Jew. As long as you don't say you're an Israelite, as long as you don't say you're a Jew, they're okay with it. Keep calling yourself black. Keep calling yourself African American. Hey, be a hood nigga. Try to make it in basketball. Try to do what you got to do. But as soon as you say, hold on, we're God's chosen people. We got to wait. God says if we keep his commandments, we're taking over this world. That's when they have a problem with you, my brother. Read this.
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 3. Verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir.
Mount Seir, that's Esau, right? They come from there. Mount Seir is a wife. He said, set your face against them. Don't say they're all not bad. He's like, you better be against those people. Read on.
And prophesy against it.
Prophesy against them. Come on.
And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee.
Oh, Esau, God is against them. God does not love them. God hates them according to the Bible. This is not my personal feelings. God says, I am against you, Esau. Read.
I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee a desolation.
He's going to do what?
I will make thee a desolation.
It's going to be a day in the future where there's going to be not one white person ever in sight.
Right.
In the future. That's the future. Because of what they did to his precious stone, to his people. Read on.
I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Because thou hast had a...
He said, because. The reason I'm going to destroy you, the reason why I'm going to get rid of your whole race, because of what?
Because thou hast had a perpetual hate.
Perpetual means forever. A perpetual hatred, read.
And has shed the blood.
And has killed, murdered, sent to do slavery, forward the transgression of God's people, read.
Of the children of Israel.
That's why. That's real history according to the Bible, my brother. Yeah, we understand what's going to happen to them, but we got to understand Romans 13, the bottom of it, 17, 13, 12 and 17, about live peaceably. We understand their judgment. We understand that. I'm not saying to go up, pick up arms. No, we're not about that. This is a spiritual exodus. All God tells us to do, get your mind right, keep my commandments, all right, and wake your people up. Then the vengeance, who's going to come back and do all that damage you just heard, it's to a certain degree, it's not going to be us per se, right? Let's see what God says. Read.
Romans chapter 12, verse 17. Recompense to no man evil for evil.
We're not going to go and do evil to them the same way they did it to us. No, we're not going to do that, right? Recompense no man evil for evil. Read on.
Provide things honest in the sight of all men.
We're supposed to live righteously. Don't be doing evil in society. Don't be doing crimes. No, be honest in society. Read on.
If it be possible, as much as lieth in you.
As much as you can in this world. Read on.
Live peaceably with all men.
That's what we're here to do. That's what Christ said. So that I'm not saying to do anything evil. What I'm saying is just know who the enemy is and what they did to you, and you know what the prophecy is going to be about them when the return of Christ happens. Is there more on that? Right? So that's what I want you to understand. But it's getting back to you, right? For you, it's a spiritual exodus. You have to learn God's commandments, my brother. Because do you think you know God's commandments? Yes.
But from what you understand, very, very much deep-seated subconscious, deeply rooted program.
You said this is a deeply rooted. What do you mean? What's the program? What did you say?
Okay, you said from the first one that
Yeah. You said.
I'm saying that from the point of what you said. Anything from the church plan,
yeah.
If it's supposed to look like the witness is clothing, but it's not the witness is clothing to anyone that does not accept the book, then it's going to be gone to the understanding of, I guess, this is what this is, you know. But from what you were saying, just
so I'm tracking with you, right? From what I heard from you, you're saying there's lies on this earth that are trying to go into the people, right? What I'm saying is, if it's not filtered by this Bible, if this Bible's not saying to do it, it's a lie.
That's right.
Christianity is a part of that lie. Islam is a part of that lie. Buddha, all those false religions, that's all part of those lies. This is the only true thing in this earth.
That's right.
It's this Bible, King James Version Bible right here. This is the only truth. There's only one God, the God that created heaven and earth, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He is the only true God.
Yeah, and I know going to talk about those things in that format.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to say,
Go ahead.
from my viewpoint,
Yeah.
if you've learned something from years and years and years and years and years, you've been cemented. You're talking about it in the Exodus, getting it away from you.
Yeah.
But I have to get home, so I'm just going to say,
Okay. That's fine. So you understand you have to come up out of the lies.
Yes, that's the only way I'm with you.
All right. Do you plan on doing that?
My best.
How are you going to do your best? What actions are you going to take?
I'm going to do my best to be guided from there.
How would you get, my thing is, my brother, right? For you to go home or you're just going to go do your own research, read the Bible, right? You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, my brother, you're not going to be able to do it by yourself. You want me to tell you how? How you can't do it by yourself? Two things. Psalms 111:10 and then Acts 8. The reason why you can leave, you can go do your deep research, but you won't get far as you think you will get. Let me show you why. Read this.
Psalms chapter 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments.
God says to get an understanding with him, you have to be doing something. What is it called? He says you have to be doing my commandments to get an understanding of the Bible, of what he wants you to do. If you're not doing God's commandments, can you get his understanding? It's not apparently, it's true. I feel you, but I understand what you're saying. But so if you're not doing God's laws, it's impossible for you to get the understanding, right?
But I do have to go.
Last thing, I understand, but I'm just trying to help you. You have YouTube on your phone?
Back in the house, yes.
Okay, we have a school. We teach online, different things of that nature. We have, you know what I'm saying. The thing is, look, research our school, Israel United in Christ. Look at the Bibles through the eyes of an Israelite, not the eyes of a Christian, not the eyes of a Baptist. No, God calls us the Israelites. Our forefathers wrote this book to us, right? And the only way you can get to understand this Bible is by doing God's commandments. And what? Verse 30.
Acts chapter 8 verse 30. And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah.
You may try to read a book. You're like, dang, what's this really talking about? I don't really understand this law right here, right? Read on.
And said, understandest thou what thou readest?
Right. So what? So you're gonna have somebody who's like, hey, do you understand what you're actually reading? You just read a whole chapter. Do you understand all the contents in that chapter? Read on.
And he said, how can I, except some man should guide me?
How are you supposed to get the understanding of the Bible?
Except some man should guide me.
That is the only way for you to get an understanding of this Bible. An elder has to show you this Bible. You're not about to pick it up, not understanding the commandments, not understanding the Bible, the roots of it, and pick it up and understand it. No, that's not how God set it up on this earth. He has set up leaders for you to follow, all right? What I'm showing you here, my brother, yes, you gotta do some research. I understand you're a smart brother. I know you can do some research. Research what it means to be an Israelite according to the scriptures. All right, to get to heaven, you gotta keep God's commandments. Jesus Christ is a black man. We know we're Israelites according to what's written in Deuteronomy 28. God gave his people 2 conditions of living. If you keep my commandments, you'll be the number 1 race on this earth, above everybody. If you break my commandments, you'll be the bottom of the world. You'll be on the bottom of society. If you look at this world today, it's in the midst of sin because what? It's God's Sabbath day. Why are there stores open? Why are people doing things on a day like this? It should be the day of rest. Things should be shut down or slowed down tonight. That's how you know this world is in wickedness. So if the world is in complete wickedness, where would God's people be? On the top or the bottom? So who are who are God's people? The so-called, you say again? Our people are being wicked, but we got to change. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Americans, we're the Israelites. I just need you to get the understanding. You're an Israelite. The so-called blacks and Hispanics, we are God's people. We have to keep God's commandments. That's the only way to get back in with God. All right, my brother, you understand what I'm saying?
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.